السلام عليكم.
Walaikum salam. Hello, Sana. Hi.
How are you today, doctor?
How are you?
Fine, alhamdulillah.
Okay, good. All right, let's check our lesson. So where are we? Yes. Okay, so very quick review of our last topic. So our last topic is mainly how to respond on the phone, especially if you want to check for information or you want the person to repeat it again. So we use different phrases. Could you say that again, please? Sorry, I didn't get all of that. Things like this. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. All of these phrases serve either one of two purposes. Either they make the speaker repeat what they're saying, or you can confirm something you heard. And also we talked about contrastive stress, which is if someone says something wrong on the phone, you can correct them by emphasizing or stressing the parts which they said incorrectly. So we talked about this. And after that, the final thing we talked about was pronunciation, the different suffixes, the shun, the ij, and the chir, like audition, manage, nature. So the three different suffixes. Okay, in today's lesson, we're going to talk a little bit about informal words and phrases, and also how to make wishes, how to wish for things. So this is what we're going to cover. Let's start here with the first exercise, vocab and speaking. We have a number of informal words, okay? So these are expressions and words that the British people usually use in their everyday life, okay? So let's see how many of them you can guess correctly. Let's start with the first one. What do you think this means? I really fancy going away this weekend. What do you think it means?
I have a willing to going away this weekend.
Okay, but if you want to use a simpler word, what do you think? If you want to use an easier expression or word instead of willing, do you think does this person want to go out at the weekend or doesn't want?
Happy to going away.
No, I'm asking, do you think the person is looking forward to go out? Does the person want to go out, or he doesn't want to go out? I really fancy. So,
He wants to go out.
exactly, that's the idea. So I fancy going out, it means you want to go out. Do you get the idea? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, what about I can't be bothered to cook this evening? What do you think this means?
I am not upset to cook this evening.
But what does it mean? I'm not upset to cook.
This meaning I can cooking this evening.
Okay. What about number 3? I don't feel up to going out after class. What do you think?
I feel relaxed. I don't feel relaxed.
Okay. And number 4, I'm completely broke at the moment. What do you think this means?
Broke. Sometimes if someone do something, I don't know how to explain. Do something But if someone else come to and tell you something is not good, or like, yeah, and block you.
Not exactly, no. It has another meaning. What about number 5? I often hang around for a bit after class.
Maybe go walking.
Okay, close, kind of close. Number 6. The last film I saw was rubbish.
Meaning is not good.
Yes,
or
that's right. Number 7. I'm really into yoga at the moment.
No, this I'm really
into.
This meaning joined yoga.
Not joined, no. Number 8. It's up to me when I take my holiday.
What I want, we will do in holiday, where I will go in holiday. Up to me.
Yes, but what does it mean, up to me?
What I want.
Yes, it means you decide, right? Okay, number 9. I reckon it's gonna rain tomorrow. I reckon.
Guess, maybe.
Close. You're very close. Okay. Number 10. I could do with a few days off. I could do.
This is, I couldn't get the meaning. In this sentence.
And number 11. I'm sick of working or studying so hard.
Alaikum salam.
How are you
Maybe
today?
I feel sick when I, okay. Alhamdulillah.
Sana is, you know, she's exciting. She's excited, sorry. She's paying attention. She's trying hard. You're interrupting her, Haja.
Sorry.
But the question is a little difficult. I agree with her, because all of these phrases, all of them are informal. This exercise is a bit like phrasal verbs. Do you remember phrasal verbs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes they're hard to guess, right? Because you can't get the meaning really from the words. It's a little tricky. This is a bit similar, because these are all British informal words. Not slang, but you know, just informal language. This is how British people usually talk to each other. Okay, the last one. I'm off to the cinema later. What is this?
Maybe I will go to the cinema later.
You're right. This is correct. Okay, so you have maybe 3 or 4 that you guessed correctly, Sana, which is great. Let's take a look at the other ones. Yeah, not bad. Because like I said, they're not easy to guess. Okay, so here we have the meaning. Okay, so when you fancy doing something, it means you want to do it. Do you get the idea? So if you want to do something, so if you go to the UK and a British person says or asks you, maybe the British friend will say, fancy going out? Fancy having a cup of coffee? Do you fancy going to the park? If a British person asks you something like this, it means, do you want to? Do you want to have a cup of coffee? Do you want to have, I don't know, go for a walk? Do you get the idea? So fancy is like want. Okay, when you say, I can't be bothered to do something, it means you don't want to do it. You don't have any energy. Do you get the idea? You're not interested. I can't be bothered. It means, you know, I don't care. I'm too tired. I don't want to do it. This is the idea. Can't be bothered. And I don't feel up to something. This is similar. These two are actually similar to each other. I can't be bothered to cook, or if you say, I'm not feeling up to cooking, or I don't feel up to cooking, it means you don't want to do it. Okay, completely broke or to be broke, it means you don't have money. No money. I'm broke, no money. I don't have money. To hang around a place, it means to stay for some time, to spend some time. احنا بالليبي نقولوا كسد، تعال كسد معي تعال. Would you like to hang around؟ فهذه زي تكسد متاعها.
أنا لما ترجمتها بالعربي طلعت لي يتسكع، هذا علاش أنا.
صح، هي هذه معناها يتسكع، انه واحد زي ما تقولي تضيع في الوقت.
في وقت
احنا شاطرين فيها الليبيين هذه hang around. we're very good at hanging around. اللي هي إضاعة الوقت وهيك التسكع وخلاص. اوكي. لكن التسكع مش بمعنى سيء، مش بمعنى سلبي. ممكن بالعربية السلبي شوية معناها التسكع، فيها صياعة يعني أكثر. لكن في الإنجليزي hang around حيادية شوية، ما هيش باهية لك، ما هيش سيئة يعني، ما هيش حاجة عيب مثلا، عادية. مثلا زي في المثال هذا I often hang around for a bit after class. يعني مثلا الطالب هذا يكمل الفصل متاعه، يقعد شوية مع أصحابه مثلا، مع جماعته، يدرسوا شوية، يلعبوا شوية كورة، يمشوا للقهوة مثلا، ما يروحش طول الحوش. هذا قصده يعني I hang around. it means I stay a little longer. هذا قصده يعني. ما فيش حاجة واضحة شنو يدير يعني، ممكن يدرس ويضيع شوية وقته خلاص، لكن ما هيش سلبية يعني. هذه قصدهم. rubbish هذه قلتها صح. very bad quality. Yeah, to be into something I'm really into. So if a British person says I'm really into movies, I'm really into drawing, I'm really into the guitar, this means you really like it. Do you get the idea? It means you enjoy it. So this person, I'm really into yoga at the moment, this person loves yoga, he likes doing yoga. Okay, this one you answered it correctly. It's up to me or up to him, or it means decision. You decide, he decides, we decide. It's up to us, it's up to them. So it means when you say it's up to him, them, us, you're talking about who has the ability to make the decision. Do you get the idea? Who has the decision? Who can make the decision? Reckon, you said guess, which is close. Reckon means think. I think. So if you say, I think it's gonna rain, if you say, I reckon it's gonna rain, it's the same meaning. Okay. And this one I could do with, it means like fancy, similar to fancy. It means want or need. I could do with a few days off. It's, you would like this, you want this, it's good for you, you think it's good for you. To be sick of doing something, you're tired, you're fed up. And the last one,
this sentence, I think I don't understand this sentence. What's the meaning? I could do with a few days of this meaning will have
because
holiday a few days of.
انت لانك قاعده تترجمي في could وترجمي في do، لكن هي عباره ثابته مع بعضها. It's an expression together. Do you get the idea? Don't translate could and don't translate do.
Okay.
So together
معناها
I could do.
خلينا نترجمها بالعربي.
اي
معناها أنا نحتاج ليامات إجازة بمعنى.
بالضبط.
Okay.
Yes.
معناها الجملة.
Yes.
Okay.
صح. فcould do with, I could do with some chocolate right now. كان غير نحصل شوكولاتة، بس نبي شوكولاتة زي I want، نفس الشيء، قريبة من I want. Okay, so it's very similar to I want.
Okay.
هذه نفس قصة الفانسي، حتى هي نفس الشيء want. لكن عادة الفانسي I fancy ديما للdoing، يعني I want to do something، نبي ندير حاجة. عرفتي؟ ويديروا فيها حتى في الأسئلة. Do you fancy going out؟ هل do you want to go out؟ بالشكل هذا يعني. To be off أنت قلتها صح، to go. ولو استعملتها I'm off توا معناها I'm leaving now. Okay. So هذا كلهم يعتبروا informal English. فممكن هيك يجونا غريبات شوية، لأن ما همش regular language، ما همش you know, it's informal. هذه فكرتها كلها informal. Okay. So choose 6 sentences that are true for you. Okay, we can skip this. As long as you get the meaning, I think it's okay. All right, number 2, it says work in pairs, look at photos A to E. What do you think the people are talking about? Okay, let's take a look at the photos. Can you see the first photo, photo A? We've got Ryan and Amanda. What are they talking about? What do you think, Sana and Haj? What are they talking about?
Discussing about work, or maybe she is going out for.
Yeah.
They want to go out? Do you think one of them is asking the other to go out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe he hang around for a bit.
Maybe he's asking her to hang around a bit in the office? Maybe. You could be right, yes. What about Dylan and Barbara? What are they talking about? What do you think?
She is going out and he is studying, so maybe she is saying to him, he wishing to him good luck for studying.
Yes, you might be right. Or she's
Or,
maybe Sana?
or Libyan thinking. He asked her, what about the cook? Who will make the cook?
Yes.
True.
And yeah, I think now he's saying, and what about dinner? It's not gonna cook itself. When are you coming back, woman?
Yeah.
And she said, no,
Yes.
you haven't
But she
done.
said,
I'm going out with the girls. You're staying hungry tonight. Yeah, it starts with a smile and it always ends with tears. This is Libyan life, you know. One of them starts a problem and then someone has to cry at the end. Either she's crying after divorce or he's crying, or one of them is gonna cry. Okay, let's take a look at photos. See, we've got Jason and Tina here. What are they talking about, Jason and Tina? What do you think? What's going on here? I think they even have a worse situation than the previous couple.
yeah, because he want to watch football and she want to watch her series. So they're
fighting.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is just how the fight is gonna start, but there's a deeper layer to the fight, to the argument. It starts like this, but in reality, after a few minutes, she's going to jump and shout, when are we gonna have a baby? And he's saying, we don't have money. I don't have a job yet. And then she says, my sister has a baby. My cousin has a baby. All my friends have babies. I want a baby. And he's saying, what? How are we going to feed it? And it starts with a movie or a series and football. But the story is always bigger. There's always more drama behind the scenes. Okay, so we'll find out what the problem is. Okay.
But I think maybe they saw the film and the film is boring. That's why
yes, you might be right.
You feel boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they saw a really boring film, a rubbish film, and now they're annoyed.
Yeah.
And maybe they want to start a fight to have some fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Molly and Patrick. What's going on here with Molly and Patrick?
The best questions for a woman, and
the worst for men.
The worst one for men. What I gonna wear. So
yeah,
it's very complicated questions.
Yes, it looks simple, but it's not simple at all. It's a trick question.
Because
no man should answer
if he chooses the red one, she said, but also the green one is a good. So it's very complicated.
It is. And if he says the green one looks better on you, so she will say, does this mean I look ugly in the red one? And he says, no, the red one is also nice. And then she
Yeah.
says, are you lying? You just
Yeah, true.
said the red one is, I look better in the green. Are you lying to me? Why do you always lie to me? I'm not a child. Stop lying to me. And it starts again.
Start fighting.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And the last one, we've got Lenny and Juliet. What's going on here?
Maybe they talk about study and
I think it's a lot worse.
and they're feeling boring from the study hard.
Maybe.
No, I think they are in a train station or bus
Okay.
station,
Uh-huh.
and they discuss about the next destination. Maybe she is going. She want to going to mall, and he's want to going to watch a football match or something. So
Yes. So maybe they can't agree where to go.
yes.
Okay. Okay, let's find out. Let's find out what's going on between all of these couples. Let's see what's going on. So it says here, listen and match the conversations number 1 to 5 to photos A to E. So this means the conversations we're going to listen to now, they're not in order, to get the idea. So they're going to be random. So maybe we will hear C before A, before, and so on. So our first step is just to match them, okay? Only match them. After we listen to the 5 conversations, just match them. But I also want you to just write number 1, B, number 2, A, number 3, and that's it. That's all you need to do. Okay, let's leave this in front of you. So CD3, track 29. Let's go to track 29. Intermediate. No, this. Here it is. $29. Here it is. Yes. Okay. Okay, let's start. So here it is. Now they're going to start with number 1. Okay, let's increase the size of the book just a little bit. Okay. Okay. So we're doing exercise number 2. Let's listen.
Track 29. 1.
We've been standing here for nearly 20 minutes.
Yes, I know, but I'm sure one will be along soon.
I wish we had a car.
Yeah, me too. But you know we can't afford one, not until I find a job.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. If we had a car, I wouldn't spend half my life waiting for buses.
Oh, look, here's one. See, I told you.
2.
Do you fancy a drink? Sally and I are off to the pub.
Oh, I wish I could come with you, but I have to stay and finish this report.
Can't you do it tomorrow?
Nah, Brian wants it before he goes home. He's off to New York in the morning.
Well, if you finish it in the next hour or 2, give me a call.
Yes, I will. I could really do with a drink. Anyway, have a good time. Now, where was I?
3.
Are you enjoying this film?
No, it's rubbish, isn't it? Actually, I'm sick of sitting here watching telly in this freezing cold flat.
Yeah. I wish I was on a beach somewhere, you know, relaxing in the sunshine.
Yeah, we could really do with a holiday, couldn't we? It's a shame we're so broke.
Do you fancy going for a walk?
No, I can't be bothered. Let's see what else is on.
4.
You look nice. I can't remember when I last saw you in a suit.
Thanks. But I wish we didn't have to go to this party. I don't really feel up to it.
Oh, you can't miss your sister's birthday. Anyway, you'll enjoy it when you're there.
Yes, I suppose so. But let's not hang around for too long after dinner.
No, of course not. So, which of these dresses should I wear?
I don't mind. It's up to you.
The red one, I think. Or maybe the green one.
5.
Are you off?
Yes, I'm meeting Jackie at the station in a few minutes.
Well, give her my love.
Will do. I wish you were coming to the theatre with me.
You know, I'm not really into musicals. Anyway, I've got to finish marking all these exams.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Have a good time. Bye.
Okay. So the first conversation, which picture was it?
What?
E.
The last pictures.
Okay, yeah, the one.
And the gift of the hazards, very good.
Yes. Yeah, it's close. Yeah, the one about the bus station and
Yes.
not
Yes.
having a car, and she's, you know, she's whining.
Yeah.
Why don't we have a car? No,
She
wishes they
He
had a
wish
car.
he had a car. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, so number 1 is E. What about number 2, the second conversation? Which photo was it?
A.
A.
Number 2. A.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the third one?
The
C.
third word, C, I think.
Okay. And the fourth conversation?
B.
Okay. And the last one was the one with the dress, right? So
D.
that's, I think, D. Is it D?
D. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's D.
I think
Yeah, the last one was the
yeah,
dress.
for me, no.
It wasn't?
No, not the last one. No. The last one, 5, B.
Yeah. The last
You're
one,
right.
B.
You're right.
And
You're right.
D4.
D4. Yeah, the
Because
last
they
one.
talked
The last one was
about
the
the
exam.
party and
Yeah.
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 And she go to the theater.
You're right.
Mm.
Okay, let's change it. Okay, so this means number 4 is D, number 5. Number 4 is D, and number 5 is B. Okay, so now we have the correct order. Let's see if we can finish the gaps, fill in the gaps. Let's see if you can just remember these. So in the first conversation, do you remember when she said, I wish we had a
car.
car, okay. And then in the second conversation, I wish I could come
with you تقريبا.
With you.
Okay, let's try it with you. You might be, I think you might be right. Number 3, I wish I was on a this is the
go somewhere.
Yeah.
This is the couple from television, the one that they were
Yes. Yeah.
Watch the film.
Yeah, the boring film, yeah.
Yeah.
But Anna, it means it has to be, it
In
can't be a
specific
city.
place, you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't use on a city.
Yeah. Yes, they mentioned something, but
okay.
Go
okay.
to the sea, maybe.
Close. What do we call the sea in English? They don't say the sea. They use another word.
Beach.
Yes. I think it's beach. I wish I was on a beach somewhere. Okay, number 4.
Yeah, so
I wish
we didn't have to
go to this party.
Yeah, this is the man who's stuck with his wife and the dress isn't. Okay, and the last one?
I wish we're coming
to the theater.
To the theater.
With me.
Okay. All right, let's take a look. Let's check your answers. So let's go and check the script. 95, 329, 329, 329. Where's 329? This is 2. 329. Okay, here's 3. 317. 321. 322. 329. Here it is. It's the last one. Okay. I wish we had a car. Correct. So the first one is correct. I wish I could come with you is also correct. With you is correct.
With you.
Yeah. I wish I was on a beach. This is also correct. So the 3 are correct so far. Number 4, I wish we didn't have to go to this party. Number 4 is correct. And the last one, I wish you were coming to the theater. Nice. Okay, so all of them are correct. Excellent. So we can move on. So you can see already that the grammar is all about wishing. And now we're going to talk a little more about wishing and how to use wishes and how to express wishes. But first of all, here we have some 2 general questions. So the sentences that we were just completing here, the ones here, 2C. So do you think these are sentences which talk about real situations or imaginary situations?
No, it's real situation. So everyday life, everyday talking.
No, I think
but when a person,
yeah,
when a person says, "I wish we had a car," do they have a car? Or
no.
is it imaginary?
Imaginary.
Yes, but the way you answered it is logical, Hajar. Yes, it's if you want to think of it, as
it's a real, yeah.
It happens in real life. You're right. These conversations and these wishes, people have them all the time in real life. Yes, but the thing they wish for itself, is it real or is it not
imaginary.
Here? Yeah, that's it. That's the idea.
For wishing, it's imaginary, but for the how do they express, it's real.
Correct. How
Sometimes
they feel.
we wish something, but yeah.
You're right. The feeling of wanting this thing or wishing for it, the feeling is real. But the thing that we wish for, we don't have it. It's not with us. Because if it's with us, it wouldn't be a wish, right? So this is the idea. Okay, let me take a look at the internet. I think maybe there's something wrong with it. Just a second. Let me check the modem. Okay. It's okay. All right. So this is the first general question. Then it says here, do they talk about the past or the present future?
Present future, yes.
Yes. Wishes are usually related to the present or to the future. They're not about the past. Because if it's about the past, it's like a regret. For example, I wish I had studied. I wish I had met him earlier. So this is not really a wish, it's kind of a regret if you're wishing in the past. Anyways, okay. So let's take a look at this sentence. I wish we had a car. So the first question says, has Juliet got a car? Has she got a car or not?
Not yet.
Not yet. Would she like to have one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes. And it's a little strange, right? When we say, I wish we had a car. She's using had, which is in the past, to talk about something which they want in the future, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I always try to advise higher level students, intermediate and above, try not to pay too much attention to the grammar of the sentence. Try to get the overall meaning, because sometimes you might be tricked. The same thing with conditionals. If you take a look at conditionals, they sometimes use strange grammatical structures, but they mean something else. Anyways, this is a point here. All right, let's take a look at our third part of the exercise. It says here, look again at the sentences in 2C, then fill in the gaps. So to answer this one, I also want you to take a look at the question we already finished here. So let's see what they want us to do. They want us to complete the gaps, fill in the gaps, and let me just put a little circle around the options we're going to use. So you can use past continuous, you can use past simple, you can use didn't have to, and you can use could. So this means we've got 4 options or 4 answers to use in the 4 sentences. So this means in reality, we've got 4 different kinds of wishes. So we've got wishes about states, wishes about activities happening now, wishes about abilities and possibilities, wishes about obligations. So we've got 4 kinds of wishes. They're all wishes, but they're slightly different. Okay. So the first one is wishes about state. So like number 1 here, if you want to wish about a state, what do we use? Wish plus what? And sorry, let's just write the answers again. So it makes it easier to answer this question. I wish I could come with you on a beach. I wish we didn't have to go to this party. I wish you were coming to the theater. All right, so the first one, to make wishes about states, what do we use? What do we use? Do we use past continuous? Do we use past simple?
Past simple.
Right. Past simple. What about wishes about activities activities happening now? What do we use?
Past continuous. No.
Activities happening now.
They're coming.
Past continuous. I wish you were coming to.
But I have an idea. Let's try to match. Let's try to match each one with the example.
Could. We use could. It's not.
By the way, I don't think they're in order. I don't think it's in the same order as the question. So you have to be careful. Okay, so maybe states.
States.
Which one is the state? Is it the first one? I wish we had the car. Okay. What
Yeah.
about activities happening now? Which example is it? Is it 2, 3, or is it 4, or is it 5? What do you think?
Happening now. It's number 5.
Okay. What about something related to abilities or possibilities?
Number 2. Yeah, could.
Okay.
I
could.
wish I could.
Yeah, because the person doesn't have the ability, right? And the
Yes.
last one, to make wishes about obligations.
It's of number 4.
The one about the party.
Have
Okay.
to.
Yeah.
So this means we've got 2 states in the examples. We've got,
Yes.
because we've got,
Number
which one is
and
another
number 4.
state?
Number 4.
Number 4 is
Which
also
we
a
use
state.
past simple. Yeah. Not number 4. Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3,
was an
exactly. I
ability.
was.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So this is another state. Okay, let's mark it. Okay, so now it's kind of easier to answer, okay? So for activities happening now, what did we use? Let's check the grammar of the example. What did we use?
Past continuous.
Right. Past continuous. And what about possibilities and abilities? What did we use?
Could.
Could plus infinitive.
Didn't. Good.
And the one with obligations, what did we use?
Didn't have to.
Have to.
Didn't have to. That's exactly right. Didn't have to. This is for an obligation. Now, let's take a quick look and confirm these answers. Okay, so remember this tip is actually similar to the conditional. Remember in second conditional, if I were you, I would study harder. Do you remember that? Instead of saying if I was you, we use if I were you. And this is, by the way, I know it sounds strange, but this is actually more common in imaginary situations. If I was you, this is grammatically correct, but it's strange. They don't use it. Everybody uses if I were you.
If I were.
Yeah, if I were you.
I were you.
Yeah, I'd study harder, for example. So here, they're repeating the same idea in this tip. Because it's a wish, it's okay. You can do it either way. And there's actually a relationship. This is very interesting. Can you see this last point? They're showing us a relationship between the second conditional and wishes. So there's a bit of a connection. It says if you want to give the reason for your wish, you can use the second conditional. Look at this example. I wish we had a car. This is the wish, right? And look at the explanation or the reason. If we had one, which means the car, if we had a car, I wouldn't spend half my life waiting for buses. Do you see how it's connected?
Yes.
So if you want to give a reason for your wish, you can use second conditional. And we use second conditional because wishes are imaginary. Imaginary things in the future which haven't happened yet. They might happen, but they're still imaginary. It's unlike zero conditional, for example, which talks about real things, right? Okay, now let's take a quick look and let's check the summary. Let's see if our answers are all correct. 155. Let's take a look. All right, here we have wishes. So the first one, it says for states, we use past simple, wish plus past simple, correct. For activities happening now, wish plus past continuous, correct. For abilities, possibilities, could plus infinitive, correct. Okay, wishes about obligations, correct. So all of them are correct. That's excellent. Good news. You can go and check the next exercise so we can practice this. Let's take a look. So let's check question number, where is it? Number 4. Okay, so let's answer number 4 and then we can listen and check. Take a minute, I'll be right back, okay? So you can complete number 1. You can reuse the rules we talked about in the previous exercise. I have a better idea. Let me show you both pages together. So this way, you can check the rule whenever you need to. Okay, so this way we've got the rule in front of us. Let's move this a little bit. Okay. Oops. What's going on? Yes. All right, here it is. So take a minute, finish number 4, and then we'll check it. We'll listen to check your answers. I'll be right back. Okay, let's check your answers. So, okay, let's divide them. So what do you have for number 1?
I wish I could find a job.
Number 2?
I wish. I don't know, but I wasn't being. It wasn't being.
But it's a state, right?
It's a state.
So what do we use for states?
Didn't.
But you have verb to be. What's the
Didn't.
past? What's the past of verb to be?
Was.
And in the negative?
Wasn't.
Okay, let's try it like this, and then we'll check from the listening. What about number 3?
I didn't have to.
Okay. And number 4?
I wish I had.
Okay.
Had.
Number 5?
I wish we were staying. But continue.
But past, because it's past. I wish we stayed at home.
Okay. Okay. And number 6?
Was.
Okay. Number 7?
He could.
Number 8?
I didn't have to finish.
Okay. Number 9?
Like it.
Okay. And the last one?
Past simple.
I wish I sit
Yeah.
in a beat right now.
Was
It's
sitting,
happening.
maybe.
Yeah.
Was sitting.
Okay. Let's take a look. Let's check. And let's see how many of these are correct. Track 30.
Yeah.
Track 30.
I wish I could find a job. I wish it wasn't so cold in this flat. I wish I didn't have to mark all these exams. I wish I had a new dress for the party. I wish we were staying at home this evening. I wish the bus stop was closer to our flat. I wish he could come to the pub with us. I wish I didn't have to finish this report. I wish he liked musicals. I wish I was sitting in a beach bar right now.
Okay, so we've got one of them is incorrect. And the key is this.
This evening, yeah.
This evening,
Yeah.
yes.
This meaning my answer, yes. We're staying, yes.
I didn't hear your answer, but if this is your answer, correct.
No, I answered we're staying.
So it's all, yeah, it's Hajar's fault. She.
Yes.
No,
she
because
ruined the
I
answer.
wrote it here in my notes.
Yeah. So we can blame Hajar. Okay.
No, not to blame everyone. We are here to learn.
No, we have to
Sometimes
blame. This is Libya. Our class is like a mini Libya. We have to blame someone.
No. We are here to learn. That's why if someone do something is not correct, this means
we have to tell them
help
wrong.
me to remember. No. help me to remember
That's
my
that's in
answer.
Europe. That's in Europe, not in Libya. Sana. In Libya, we have to be, you know, critical of everything. Okay. All right. So we've done this exercise nicely. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay. Now this time they've given us situations and we have to write the wish. Okay. So for example, I have to study all evening. So what do you think a good wish for this situation would be? It would sound something like this. I wish I didn't have to study all evening. Do you get the idea? So for each situation, we want a wish of the opposite, because wishes are always the opposite of the real situation. That's why they're imaginary. Do you get the idea? So in a way, change the situation to opposite to make it into a wish. So let's just write them here on the left side. Let's use this little box and we can write our wishes. Yes. What do you want to say, Haji?
Should we use the same
rules?
Same rules.
Yes, you should. If it's a state, use past simple. If it's an ability, use could. If it's happening right now, use past continuous, and so on. So you need to use the rules. So let's do number 2. So I'm sitting in a traffic jam. What would this, let's start with you, Hajar. What would this person wish for?
I wish I sitting in my home.
Okay. All right, that's not bad. I wish I was sitting at home. Generally speaking, this is correct. But how can this person wish for the exact opposite of the situation he's in?
Okay. I wish I was sitting, or I wish I was sitting in a bus or in a train.
Okay.
Is that true?
Yes, but there's even a simpler way. Does this person want to be in the traffic jam?
No.
What can he say to show that he wishes that he in a traffic jam? So it should look like this.
I'm not sitting.
And what about the rule for things happening now? What do we use?
Yeah. I wish.
What do you think, Sana, in this situation? What should we use here? Sana?
Yeah, I hear you, but I still thinking about the.
Okay, does it make sense if the person says, I wish I was in a traffic jam, or I wish I was sitting in a traffic jam? Is this correct?
No, wasn't maybe.
Wasn't.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You didn't say wasn't, you said not. You
Oh,
forgot
I
the
wish
was.
not.
Because you have to use
Yeah,
past
yeah,
continuous,
past. Mm-hmm.
right? I wasn't sitting. But the first one is actually, it's a good wish because it's also the opposite of the situation he's in, right? So he's like dreaming of, I wish I was sitting at home now, right? So it's also good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Sana, your turn. Number 3.
We have to get up at 6 o'clock every day. I wish I didn't have to get up at 6 o'clock every day.
Good. But is it I or is it we?
We wish we didn't have to get up at 6 o'clock every day.
Right. Yes. We didn't have to. We wish we didn't. A little weird saying we wish, right? Maybe the person is talking about his family, so he can say, I wish we didn't. I don't know, it feels a little better. I wish we didn't have to get up at 6 o'clock, blah, 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 blah. Let's just write dots. Okay. Number 4, Hajar.
I can't afford to go on holiday this year. I wish I could. I couldn't afford to go on holiday this year.
But the person already can't afford.
Yeah, I could.
That's it.
Yeah.
To go on holiday this year. Nice. Okay. Sana, number 5.
Yes. We live in a very dangerous neighborhood. I wish I lived. I didn't. I wish. Okay. I didn't live. Past simple, this meaning.
Yes.
But I think it's the negative way.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't live in a very dangerous neighborhood.
Correct. I wish we didn't live because they live with his family. They live in a dangerous neighborhood. So this person is saying, I wish we didn't live in a dangerous neighborhood. Okay. Number 6.
My wife's working late this evening. I wish she doesn't working late this evening.
Can we use doesn't? Can we use present simple?
No. I wish she didn't working late this evening.
But what kind of wish is this? Is it a wish for a state or is it a wish for something happening now?
For something happening now.
And what's the rule?
This evening.
Yeah. And what's the rule for something happening now?
Present continuous.
Past continuous.
Past continuous, yeah.
So.
Okay. I wish she was. No. I wish she wasn't working late this evening.
That's it. I wish my wife wasn't working, or she, it's correct, working late this evening. Good. And the last one, Sana?
Okay. I don't know how to sell. I wish I could know how to sell.
But there's an easier way, I think. Think of it.
Okay,
Think of it as a state. Better, I think.
Okay. I wish I wish this meaning we will know to past simple. Yes.
Correct.
I wish I know how to sell.
What's the past of no?
N-E-N-K-N-E-W.
And how do we say it?
New.
Yes.
How to new.
I wish I knew how
I wish
to sell.
I knew how to sell.
Yes. Correct. Okay. So here the idea is you just have to use the right type of wish. You need to see the sentence and try to understand what kind of wish this is. Okay, now this exercise is very interesting in here because it's a mix. You have to also use second conditional here. But the idea is each sentence is related to the previous examples. Okay, so here the person he's giving reasons for his wishes. So all the wishes that we talked about in exercise 5, now we want to give the reasons. So and all of them are second conditional, by the way. So if I could sail, I'd live on a boat. I'd live on a boat all summer. What about B? What's the answer, Sana?
Okay. This meaning second condition, yeah. I would meet up with the friends tonight if I didn't have an exam tomorrow.
Nice. Great. Okay, Hajar, see.
If there wasn't so traffic, if there wasn't so much traffic, I would, or
I would what? I'd is correct.
I would be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would be.
And D, Sana?
Okay. If I could afford a holiday, I would go to Turkey.
It's go to Turkey. Yeah. And E, Hajar?
I would take her out to a nice restaurant if she didn't have to work.
That's it. Okay, next one. Sana?
Okay. Okay. We wouldn't have to leave home so early if we lived closer to the office.
Yes. Right. And the last one, Hajar?
If we lived in a nicer part of a town, we couldn't wouldn't go out at night more often.
Why did you use negative?
Yeah, okay. We would go out or
That's it. So we'd go out. We'd go out at night more often. Right. Okay, so all we need to do is just match these sentences with the previous one. So number 1 is clear. The one about sailing is from number 7, right? I don't know how to sail.
Yeah.
If I could sail, and then this is the idea. So you first of all say your wish, and then you explain your wish. I don't know how to sail. So you can say, I wish I knew how to sail. If I could sail, I'd live on a boat all summer. This is how it usually works. All right. Now, what about the next one? I'd meet up my friends tonight if I didn't have an exam tomorrow. Which one is this? It's number 1. It's already answered. Okay, let's move this so it's easier to answer. Can you see it?
Yeah.
I wish I didn't have to study.
Number 1.
It's number 1.
yeah, it's number 1.
Okay, so B is number 1. Okay, what about the next one? The one about, I think it's easy. You can just check traffic. The one about traffic, which one is it?
I
Number
think,
2.
the second sentence.
Yeah,
I am sitting in a
exactly. Number 2, yeah, it's the one about traffic. Okay, so we can just put number 2 here. Then it's about affording holiday. So which number is this? It's number 4. Can you see the one about holiday?
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's do number 4. I wish I could afford to go on holiday. If I could afford a holiday, I'd go to Turkey. Okay. The one about his working wife. It's number 6. Can you see it? My wife's working late. I wish my wife wasn't working late tonight. I'd take her out to a nice restaurant if she didn't have to work. So which number is it? Forgot.
Number
6. Number 6. Okay, then we've got the one about waking up early. Where is it?
I think number 3.
3. Yeah, number 3, exactly.
Yes.
Number 3. So this one means the last one is number 5. The one about the dangerous neighborhood. Okay, so do you see the relationship between wishes and the second conditional? So the second conditional works very nicely to give the reason or explain the wish, the reason behind the wish. All right, so let's move on and let's take a look at this. Write 6 wishes, use these ideas. Okay, we don't have to write 6. Let's think of 2 wishes. I'd like you each to think of 2 wishes which could be related to anything. Your possessions, something that you wish you had, languages, a language you wish you spoke, something. Look at this very simple wish. I wish I had more free time. Okay. And after you think of your wish, give us the reason behind it. Like this person did. I wish I had more free time. If I had more free time, I'd write a book. Do you see what he did? I wish I had more free time. If I had more free time, I'd write a book. Okay, Sanat, can you think of 2 wishes?
Okay. 2, only one's enough.
Yeah, okay, 1. Think of 1 wish. And give us the reason behind it using second conditional after you finish your wish.
Yeah. I wish I had a farm.
Good. I
If
wish I had a farm.
If I had a farm, I wouldn't go to the work.
I wouldn't go to work. Nice, good example. I wish I had a farm. If I had a farm, I wouldn't go to work. Interesting example. Okay, what about your wish, Hajar?
I wish I could painting.
I wish I could paint.
Paint, yeah.
Infinitive, yeah. I wish I could paint.
Yes. If I could paint, I'd draw many. I draw very nice what pictures.
You can say pictures, you can say portraits, but you can also use paint as a verb. If I could paint, I'd paint. Use it as a verb. Because drawing and painting is different. So you can just use paint again. If I could paint, I'd paint many beautiful pictures, or I'd paint many beautiful portraits. Paintings of people are called portraits, like this. You can also say paintings. I'd paint many beautiful paintings. Okay, it's a nice wish. Anyways, this is the idea behind wishes and how to use wishes and how to talk about them. All right, so let's check our next topic. Let's take a quick look at it. And let's return the page to one page display. Okay, all right, so now we're going to talk a little bit about get. The verb get is one of the most interesting verbs in the English language because they use it in so many different ways. You can use get to mean receive, to get something, to receive it. You can use get to become something or for something to happen. You can use get as travel and arrive. And there are other phrases, okay? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take a look at the table here. Can you see all of these examples of get?
Yeah.
What we want to do here is we want to put them in the right group, or at least try, okay? So remember, our four groups, we have get to receive, we have get to become, get to arrive or to travel or to move, and we've got other phrases with get. Okay, so let's start with the first one. To get fed up with someone. Which group is this? And the easiest way to know is to change it.
Become.
That's the idea I was gonna say. Yeah, just change it with the word and see if it still makes sense. You get the idea? So for example, get fed up with someone, try to change get with become. Does it make sense? Become fed up with someone or something? Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is how you know that become is correct, for example. The same thing. For example, get home. Let's change get with arrive. Arrive home. It makes sense, then it's correct, right? So this might help answering the question. Anyways, let's write the first one in the first group. So let's just use numbers, okay? So let's use, this is group one, this is group two, this is group three, get arrive is group three, and other phrases is group four. Each one has three. So now we used one of them from group two. Get fed up is group two. Get in touch with someone. What's this?
I think group four.
Okay. What about get around? What do you think?
Get around. It's number 3.
Oh.
No.
3, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about get a message?
Group 1, which
You mean receive,
one?
like receive?
Yeah, receive a message.
Okay. Let me just show you the groups again. 1, this is 2, and this is 4. Okay. What about get back from somewhere?
3.
3.
Okay. What about get rid of something?
Number 2.
2.
Okay. What about get into trouble?
Number 2.
Number 4.
So we have 2 answers, 2 and 4. Okay. What about get a present?
Receive, it's number 1.
What about get to work?
It's also number
3.
1.
But get to work, I think here they're talking about the place where you work, the office, for example. So, Sana, I think you're right. It's like arrive at work, right?
Arrive, yeah.
Okay. And what about get a phone call?
Number 1.
1.
It's receiving.
Get better at something, get worse at something.
Become, it's number 2. 2.
Okay. Get older.
Become older.
2.
Okay. Become older. Interesting.
2.
Let's take a look. Let's confirm this. Let's see. 155. What is this page? This is 97. Okay. Can you see it on the right side? So if you get a message, I think we answered this group correctly. We said get a message, get a present, and get a phone. We answered this correctly. And we answered get fed up, get better, and get around, get back from somewhere, get to work, correct? Get in touch, get هذه ما جاوبتوهاش صح. Get rid, you said become.
Rid of.
Yeah, become, yes.
Yeah, I think this is the only mistake.
Also into trouble. Into trouble, I answered correctly.
Yeah, because to get rid of something and get into trouble, you don't become something. You get rid of it. It means you throw it away. And you get into trouble, it means it's not becoming trouble. It's different. It has a different meaning. All right, so this is the idea. We have some interesting tips. Let's take a look at the tips. So it says here, get, we can also use it with adjectives. You can get upset, you can get tired, you can get annoyed. You can also mean get, you can use you can use get to mean buy. So you can say, could you get me some water from the, or you can you get me, could you get me some meat from the butchers? Could you get me some bread from the bakers? And so on. Okay, so this is the idea with get. It's a very flexible verb. So let's take a look at our next exercise here. Let's see. Okay. Which other phrases do you know? Can skip this. Write 3 sentences and 3. Okay. Let's think of a few sentences. I'd like you I'd like you to think of maybe 1 or 2 examples about yourself. And I'd like you to talk about yourself using get. So you're free to use any of these expressions to talk about yourself. Okay, so for example, you can say, I usually get a present on my birthday. I never get to work on time. My sister gets fed up with video games very quickly. Many people don't enjoy getting older. You get the idea? So just think of random examples about yourself. I'd like each one of you to think of 1 example using get. Okay, so Hajar, you can start. Give us an example using get.
I really get in touch with people.
I rarely get in touch with people.
Get touch with the friends.
I rarely get in touch with friends. Okay, that's good. All right, Sana, can you think of an example using get?
Yes, I get fed up from traffic jam.
I get fed up with, I think maybe in the past is better here. I got fed up, or I usually get fed up.
With
I think in this example, I'm أحسن من get. I'm fed up. Because get fed up usually you become fed up. يعني في تغيير صار. عرفتي؟ هذه زي الفرق بين مثلا I got used to waking up early و I'm used to waking up early. في فرق. I got used to أنا زي ما أقولي كيف تعودت. لكن I'm used to أنا متعود already. Can you think of another example?
I get fed up with my mobile phone.
I got fed up with my mobile phone. Okay, good example. All right, so this is the idea here. They just wanted you to use them in examples. Now we're going to do a little bit of listening. But first of all, let's take a look at the photos. Look at the photos, then listen to Carol, Anthony, and Michelle talking about important moments in their lives. Choose the correct answers. So let's take a look at the photos. Can you see Carol and Owen? This is Carol. This is Owen. All right, let's take a look at Anthony and Michelle. This is Anthony. Can you see Anthony? This is Anthony. And can you see Michelle? Here's Michelle. Okay. Now let's listen to them talk about important moments in their lives. So let's take a look at the track. Let's listen.
Track 31. Carol.
The most important moment in my life was, the day I met Owen. An old friend was having a party, but the weather was so bad that I nearly didn't bother going. Just think, if I'd stayed at home, I wouldn't have met my husband. Anyway, my friend introduced me to Owen and we got on really well. He was only in London for a few days. He's American, you see. And he was supposed to fly back to Boston the following day. But the next morning, Owen called me to say that Heathrow Airport was closed because of ice and snow. He'd have flown home that day if the weather hadn't been so bad. Anyway, he invited me out for lunch and we got to know each other a bit better. He flew home the next day, but by that time we were already madly in love. We got married 2 years later, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Anthony.
For me, probably the biggest turning point in my life was when I lost my job. I was working for an advertising agency, but they got into financial trouble and had to get rid of some people, including me. I got quite depressed at first, but I was getting fed up with working for a big agency anyway, so I decided to start my own online design company. If I hadn't lost my job, I wouldn't have started my own business, but it's been really successful. I've always fancied working from home, and so I moved to the country and bought a nice little cottage. I wouldn't have left London if I'd stayed with the ad agency. I don't get as much money as I used to, but I'm much happier than I was then.
Michelle.
Well, for me, it's probably the day I won my first race. When I was a kid, I used to get into trouble a lot at school, and the only thing I enjoyed was running, which I was always quite good at. Then, one day, my dad took me to the local athletics club. When we got there, I found out that he'd entered me for the 400 metres. I was really nervous, but I won by over 2 seconds. That was the turning point for me. If I hadn't won that race, I'd never have become a serious athlete. I started training really hard, and 3 years later, I managed to get into the British youth athletics team. I've got better as I've got older, and now I want to compete in the next Olympics. So yeah, running's changed my life. If I hadn't started doing this, I'd have got into a lot more trouble. I'm sure of that.
Okay. So let's start with the first one. We want to choose the correct answers. Where did Carol meet her husband?
At a party.
Right. And he couldn't fly him home. He
At the
couldn't fly
party.
home. Why couldn't he fly home?
Because he lost his passport. The airport was closed because the weather isn't good.
That's it. Yes. And what about Anthony? What happened to Anthony?
Lost his job.
Right.
Lost his job.
That's correct. And where does he live now?
In London? Or
Okay.
no,
Let's...
I think in the country now.
Okay. And what about Michelle? It says Michelle
Get
used...
into trouble.
And then it says she has competed in the Olympics, or she wants to compete in the Olympics.
She wants to compete.
That's right. She wants to compete. Okay. Now, on the next question, we want to find out who said each sentence. So we've got these 6 sentences. I just want you to tell me, is it Carol, is it Anthony, or is it Michelle who said these sentences? So what about the first one? If I... Carol. Okay. What about B?
And Anthony.
Right, Anthony. What about C?
Carol.
Carol.
Correct. What about D?
Michelle.
Right. What about E?
Anthony.
Correct. What about F?
Michelle.
Michelle.
Yes. All right. So each one talked about important moments in their life. Now we're going to take a look at... Okay, so they want us to confirm them. They're correct. Your answers are correct. We don't need to listen again. But what we want to do is we want to take a look at the third conditional. Have we talked about the third conditional before? No, we haven't. We talked about 0, type 1, and type 2, but we haven't talked about type 3 before.
Type 2, yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time. All right, so type 3 is very interesting. Because type 3 talks about things which have already happened. Do you get the idea? So type 3 باللي بيزي كلها حصرة في حصرة. Do you get the idea? So it's like, for example, you can say, كاني قريت الامتحان واني ما عقبتش. كاني ما شفتش وجهها في الصبح مشى اليوم على خير. You know, these kind of sentences. هذا كلهم يعتبروا third conditional لأنه صار الشخص اللي هو نادم عليه ويتحصر منه already صار and you can't change it. It already happened. Do you get the idea? يعني في الحقيقة third conditional is the only conditional in the past. أحداثها in the past. And what you're talking about is imaginary because it already happened. هذه الفكرة العامة يعني. So this is the third conditional. In my opinion, it's a bit funny, the third conditional, because you can make lots of tragic sentences with the third conditional. Okay. So let's start here. Okay, let's take a look. So we've got the if clause and we've got the main clause. نفس القصة في first to second to zero, nothing different. Okay, but first of all, does the sentence talk about the past or the present? هذا جملة كارول هذه لما كانت تدري.
It's in the past.
Past.
Yes, exactly. She's talking about the past. So it's about the past. And then it says, does this sentence talk about something that is real or imaginary?
It's real.
Real.
But here she said, if
no,
I
it's
stayed at home.
Yeah.
هي في الحقيقة هل قعدت في الحوش ولا ما قعدتش الليلة ذيك؟
لا ما
قعدتش طلعت هي تلاقت مع راجلها صح ولا؟ لكن هي زي تتخيل كاني قعدت راهو ما تلاقتش معه راني ما تلاقتش معه بالليبيا. So the situation is imaginary. Because did Carol stay at home? This is what we just answered now. No. She didn't. That night, she didn't. And did she meet her husband?
Yes.
Now, this is reality. She didn't stay at home and she did meet her husband. لكن هي زي اللي تتخيل لو قعدت راح ما تلاقيتش معه. This is the idea. Okay. So now let's take a look a little closer look on the regarding the grammar, how we can make a third conditional. It says here, if the if clause, in the if clause, what do we use?
Past.
Past perfect.
Yeah.
Past perfect.
Past perfect. Because here it's if I had stayed.
I had stayed.
Yeah, so the D here is not would, the D is had. If I'd stayed, if I had stayed. So it's past perfect, right? And in the main clause, what did we use?
Wouldn't have
plus
past simple. ولا past participle.
Past participle. Because here you can say I wouldn't have been, I wouldn't have known, I wouldn't have done. المت صدفة أن هي زي بعض في participle في simple. But in reality we need the past participle. Okay. Then it says if the if clause is always first or can be first or second. What do you think? Can we do it in the it can be كلهم الconditionals ينقلبوا عادي. Yes. So for example, this sentence we can say I wouldn't have met my husband if I'd stayed at home. Right? So no problem. You can switch. So this is the introduction. This is the summary of third conditional. It's a conditional just like the others. It has an if clause, main clause, نفس القصة. It talks about imaginary things in the past. This is the different thing. Okay. So now let's listen a little bit because I think the main difficulty with the third conditional is the had and the have are sometimes, not sometimes, they're almost always in the weak form. يعني مش هتسمعوها الهاف واضحة، مش هتسمعوا I wouldn't have met. You get the idea? It will sound a lot shorter. So let me just play it for you very quickly so you can get a feel for it. So here it is.
Track 32.
If I'd stayed at home, I wouldn't have met my husband. If I hadn't lost my job, I wouldn't have started my own business.
Did you hear that? I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have. So this means in real life, you will not hear have. مش هتسمعها بكرة. If I'd stayed at home, I wouldn't have met my husband. If I hadn't lost my job, I wouldn't have started. وهكذا. Okay? So الباقي كله listen and practice. We can skip it. Yes. Okay, here we are. Here we've got the exercise. Now here we want to complete the sentences, fill in the gaps with the correct form.
The doctor.
Yes.
I think here number B, listen and write the sentence you hear. You will hear each sentence twice. This means there is like practice for listening.
Yes. I was
not a practice in
the weak form. Okay, you're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Okay, so this means you have to write. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have your pencils and paper with you?
Yeah, for me, yes.
Hajar, are you ready?
No. Just a moment.
Okay, because you need to write the sentences. And don't worry, if you miss it, they will repeat it twice. بالضبط. اللي بعده هو متاع الويك فورم. Okay, ready, Hajar? Or not yet?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Okay, so let's listen. And let's see.
Track 33. 1.
They'd have come to the party if they'd wanted to. They'd have come to the party if they'd wanted to.
2.
If you'd left a message, I'd have called you back. If you'd left a message, I'd have called you back.
3.
He wouldn't have sold his car if he hadn't lost his job. He wouldn't have sold his car if he hadn't lost his job.
4.
If I hadn't been so tired, I'd have gone out last night. If I hadn't been so tired, I'd have gone out last night.
Five.
If he hadn't moved to New York, he wouldn't have met his wife. If he hadn't moved to New York, he wouldn't have met his wife.
Okay, did you write all of them?
That's difficult. Like fill the gap.
Yes, because half of the sentence is unstressed.
Yes.
الauxiliaries كلهم في الweak form. كلهم في الweak form. الهاف والهاد فكلها بيمشي في أغلبها في الweak form. So it's a bit hard to pick. But I'm going to repeat it again for you. But this time, I'm going to let you see the script. مش على الأقل تشوفها كيف تندهب. Where's the script? Okay. So this is 33. Let's take a look. 33, 333. 333, 333. Here it is, 333. Can you see it in the middle? Here it is. Can you see it? Right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's listen again so you can hear it and see it.
Track 33. 1.
They'd have come to the party if they'd wanted to.
Can you see it? We have two weak forms.
Yeah.
They'd have. والthey'd have هذه اختصار لي they would have. لكن مستحيل حتسمعوا بريطاني يقول لك they would have. خارج الفصل مش حيقول لك بكره يعني لو في التلفزيون في الراديو في النت وانتوا سافرتوا مش حتسمعوا they would have إلا لو خطيتوا فصل والمدرس شرحها بالشكل هذا. Otherwise حتسمعوها بالكيفية هذه. ونفس الشيء if they had wanted to had بروحها حيلصقها if they'd wanted to. So listen to it again.
They'd have come to the party if they'd wanted to.
Okay. Now هنا عندنا هذه contraction هذه weak form.
2.
If you'd left a message, I'd have called you back.
Can you see it? I'd have called you.
I'd have.
So here it is again.
If you'd left a message, I'd have called you back.
I'd have called you back. I'd have called you back. هنا عندنا wouldn't have هذه حتسمعها الهاف short في الweak form.
3.
He wouldn't have sold his car if he hadn't lost his job.
Wouldn't have.
He wouldn't have sold his car if he hadn't lost his job.
الثانية حتسمعوا I'd have.
4.
If I hadn't been so tired, I'd have gone out last night.
I'd have gone out.
If I hadn't been so tired, I'd have gone out last night.
وهنا حتسمعوا wouldn't have. He wouldn't have met.
5.
If he hadn't moved to New York, he wouldn't have met his wife. If he hadn't moved to New York, he wouldn't have met his wife.
Okay. So this means we'll continue in our next lesson. We will do the exercises of the third conditional, the number 8, ومعاها حتى number 9.
Inshallah.
And hopefully we can start with our next topic. By the way, start preparing for your final by trying to finish the workbook. اللي عنده أي حاجة ناقصة من الورك ماذا بيكم تكملوها لأن الفاينلز الورك بكرة.
إن شاء الله.
شبه تقدر تقولوا نسخ لصق يعني نفس it's the same قريب نفس التمارين بالضبط يغيروا ممكن في التفاصيل بس لكن تصير الطريقة نفسها. Okay, so thank you for your time. Have a good weekend and see you on Saturday. You're welcome.
You too.
Bye bye.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
You're welcome. مع السلامة.